Hi, this is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. I want to do a quick video. I've not really thought this out, so we'll try to put something more coherent together maybe tomorrow if the setup continues to look the same. Um, First thing I want to talk about just real quickly is this is the radar on our website, madcoweather.com. If you've not visited our website, please do so. We've got some our blogs, videos. We've got this live radar on there that you just click play up here and it'll play a loop for you, a 10-frame loop. So at any rate, looking at the GR level 3 real quick at what's going on. This is around 5 p.m. at the time I'm shooting this. It's going to be later by the time this all uploads, but you can see snow out here, some pretty healthy snow that's been going on back here toward Frankfort and Lafayette, and that line is creeping its way in, and now it's getting close to reaching maybe up around Leisure, maybe toward Elwood here pretty soon. So some parts of the county may pick up snow. If we go to the other radar, you can see here that there are some pretty heavy snow bands out here to the west. Travis up at Battleground sent me some video from up there where one of those cells went through and it whitened his ground up really fast. So it's possible that this all may find a way to leak south this evening, and so we might pick up a coating of snow, especially as temperatures are dropping. We're down to 35 degrees. So I just want to throw that out there to you. Now, what Kristen and I have been talking about this afternoon is the potential for ice. I've mentioned it in our forecast last couple of days that Friday morning, we could end up picking up 1/10 of an inch of ice or so. Most data wasn't really on board with that, but that's beginning to change as they're starting to recognize the setup. This snow band making its way in this afternoon is kind of indicative of the fact that the warm air has not made it as far north as what was expected, and I really anticipate that's going to be the case with the secondary low, that our surface temperatures are going to stay cold longer. Also, a lot of the forecast models were tracking that secondary low to our west and northwest also, and it's been in the little banner at the top of our it's changed now because I'm doing this for this evening. Here's a quick look at the forecast I'll be uploading here in a little bit, but in our little banner that we've had up here, I've talked about the expecting the secondary low to actually track over the state or maybe even to a little bit to our east, and it appears that's really what's beginning to set up. So let's take a look at what's going on here. We'll take a look at the this is on Tropical Tidbits. It's a free website if you want to go look at forecast models. Just one thing I always advise, do not take forecast models verbatim because time and again they're incorrect, and at least until you get into short range, but even in a short range they've been struggling. So that's why you have to recognize patterns and what's going on. At any rate, we'll take a look. I guess I'll backtrack to here. I started to show this. This is the water vapor imagery for the United States, and you can see our line laid out right here, kind of a long frontal system. The first wave of low pressure is cranking through. Our second one's getting ready to spin up back here. Actually already is. But you can see that all of this is kind of being suppressed, especially as this monster out here just off the screen moves in. It's kind of keeping this whole line suppressed farther to the south and east. And so, we're thinking that as this low ejects, that it's going to come up through probably western Tennessee, through either central Indiana or maybe even southeastern Indiana, and that the low is going to have a hard time tracking up through like Illinois and Missouri, where the GFS and some of the other models have had it. So back to Tropical Tidbits. We're taking a look right now at the NAM 3K. It's a high resolution NAM model, and this would be at 7 o'clock Friday morning. And we can see that I've got it set to where right now the initial shield of freezing rain is beginning to reach I-70. By an hour later, it's beginning to reach the southern part of Madison County. So this would be about 8 a.m. Friday morning. And that's significant. It's 8 a.m. Here we are at 9, 10, maybe a little break, 11. You see it starts to redevelop right here. And you'll see these heavier colors now in here right north of where it changes over to rain. This could either be some heavy sleet or some heavy freezing rain. So, we would hope more for sleet, but I fear it's going to be freezing rain, and I'll show you why here in a minute. But then you progress on, and you can see now by 10 o'clock, it's actually 17Z, it's actually about noon. So you can see it's getting ready to come through Madison County, but it is really heavy. Whether it's sleet or freezing rain, it's really heavy. Then it finally makes a changeover. It's starting to make the changeover in southern Madison County by about 1. So these are just approximate times. It's just a forecast model, and that's going to change. But that's kind of where I'm thinking this is going to play out. The Canadian model has been very similar with its timing and how heavy the precipitation is going to be. So we'll take a look over here. Here's where the GFS is forecasting the freezing rain, and you can see it's predominantly to our north and to our west. Some of this will have actually already fallen today, but because this is total freezing rain. If we go to the NAM, this is the lower resolution NAM. You can see it's picking up on some about 1/10 of an inch in Madison County. That's about where we've been. But you see it's kind of broken, and I'm not really buying this patchy nature of it. But this is the lower resolution. When you go to the higher resolution NAM, then you pick up more in the 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch. A 1/4 of an inch becomes ice storm. So, and you can see some of those numbers back here, just to our northwest, up closer to like Lafayette, maybe Frankfort, some of those areas. And again, heavier freezing rain, flat out massive ice storm back toward Missouri and some of those areas out to the west, all the way up into Illinois. Again, this is just a forecast model. You can't take them verbatim, but it is giving us an idea. Take a look at the high-res Canadian. It's even heavier. I mean, it's just a flat-out ice storm. It's actually putting down 3/4 of an inch of ice up toward Kokomo and Frankfort and Lafayette. So hopefully this is wrong. But the reason why the difference is right now is how the models are handling the cold air aloft, the cold air at the surface, and the advection of warm air. So we take a look. This is at 1 o'clock. Let's back up a little bit. Let's go to 7 in the morning and take a look at forecast sounding. I've shown you guys these SKU-T charts before to talk about snow. Well, here we go with we're looking at freezing rain, and you take a look down here at the bottom. This isn't focusing super well. I promise you guys I will get a screen recorder. But at this point at 7 in the morning, the Canadian's got 28 degrees at the surface, but by the time you just get up a kilometer, not even a mile into the air, it's well up in temperatures into the mid 40s, and you can see it's saturated all the way. So that's going to fall as rain, and indeed the model indicates freezing rain. We take a look again. If we go back to the NAM 3K at the same time, it's a little bit different, but we still have 29 degrees at the surface. We're into the mid 40s by the time you're a kilometer up. It does have this big dry slot right here. That can help mitigate things a little bit, but with it being saturated all the way down until you're getting here, not a lot of that will evaporate, but it could help. That could be why the NAM 3K keeps us at 2/10 or a little under, whereas the Canadian is really going nuts. So that'll be a big difference too. Is does dry air work its way in? Does warm air at the surface get in sooner? If it does, then we'll have less freezing rain. But if it takes longer, like the NAM 3K has, is getting freezing rain and or sleet for 4 hours, that's going to be a problem. So those are the kind of things we're watching for, and we're growing more and more concerned about the ice potential for Friday morning. Yeah, eventually the temperature will get above freezing, but 3 or 4 hours of that much ice on power lines and some trees can be a real problem. So we'll monitor this. We just wanted to touch base with you a little bit, let you know a little bit of what we're thinking. It's a lot more technical than this, and Kristen and I have discussed it, but I was afraid of getting into too long of a video going through everything. So again, I'll update the 7-day forecast shortly. I'll touch on it a little bit in the 7-day. We'll continue to watch how this develops, and we'll do a new video tomorrow if we need. And hopefully some things will change and ice becomes less of a concern, but I'm just afraid that's not going to be the case. So again, if you've not visited Madison County or madcoweather.com, please do so, and support us if you can. And we will talk to you, hopefully not about ice, but I fear we'll be talking to you again tomorrow about this. So in the meantime, this is Micah Mitchell for Madison County Weather Updates on behalf of myself and Kristen. Thank you very much.